At the Crusader Journal, by way of, I guess, reports coming out of Russia today, there are some dangerous situations. Earthquakes! Mega quake is being predicted now. The deadliest yet for San Francisco area, according to Quake. Faults have been found that have connected. Massive destruction, it looms. I don't want to be dramatic. I just want to be urgent here on what the scientists are telling us, seismologists. Matter of fact, warnings from beneath the California are getting grimmer with each passing geological study. A previously unseen fault line has been spotted, doubling the length of the existing faults and threatening an even more colossal earthquake. What? The big one, they say, an earthquake, let's say magnitude 7.0 or higher, is generally expected anyway in the United States along the San Andreas fault line. They really believe that's going to happen very soon. But many geologists agree that the fault has reached such a level of stress that the new massive quake is a matter of when, not if. And in June, there was a large-scale motion was detected along the fault line, creating further panic in cities such as Los Angeles and San Francisco, California. But the new phantom danger lies in the Oakland, San Francisco Bay Area, along these two merged faults running parallel to San Andreas. Matter of fact, and I remember the earthquake back in, I believe it was 1980s, during the World Series between the Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants. What happens? A major earthquake, and it was devastating, and it collapsed freeways, and a lot of folks were killed. But that was nothing compared to what they're anticipating now. Upping the ante, matter of fact, this week was a troubling discovery of a hidden bridge between these two volatile fault zones. Rogers Creek and Haywood Fault are outlined in a journal Science Advances. Together, they stretch 115 miles from the wine country in northwest California down to Oakland, California, terminating just north of San Jose. They pose a big enough danger when unconnected. But now we have found out they're connected. But this newly discovered connection effectively means they're a single fault line now. And this threatens to produce a rubber band effect, twice the magnitude when the fault eventually ruptures. What? In other words, if it was, say, a 7.4, it would be like a 14.8, which is, of course, off the charts. Nobody's even heard of such a thing. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? And because the longer a fault stretches, the bigger the quake it can produce. And here, we've just doubled already a very long, stressed fault lines. According to David Ponce, a geologist with the research group speaking to people at Popular Mechanics. Matter of fact, according to Ponce, the combined fault zones constitute one of the most dangerous earthquake risks in the nation. And when the fault slips, it threatens a 7.4 magnitude quake. Take that times 2. That's how the effect will be. It may be a 7.4, but the effect of the rubber band effect is as much as double it. So California will have its 5th largest earthquake in history, but it will be the deadliest ever. It isn't a question of could it be. It is going to happen. It will be the 5th largest quake ever, and it will kill more people than any other quake in the history of this nation. It is going to happen. This is a lot to digest, a lot to pray about, a lot to understand, but we are going to see earthquakes of a biblical proportion. Something biblical is going on here with the signs of the second coming of Christ. Jesus said there would be earthquakes in divers places. Matter of fact, the book of Revelation talks about earthquakes will happen on the earth like never before. And so the stresses, the pulling apart, the sinkholes, the volcanic eruptions, all these things, the stress, the CMEs, and if the magnetic sphere is down like it's been over the past weekend, as the waves of energy put stress on the system, and then there's CERN. I mean, all these things, and just prophecy tells us that we're in the last days. Give your life to Jesus Christ. Do you really realize the danger that millions of you are in? Are you saved? Well, look, I'm trying to help you. This isn't fear-mongering. I'm telling you that the Lord said he would give us he would not put on us more than we'd able to bear. Matter of fact, for he hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. But if you're not saved, I'm sorry, but if you're not saved, you have no protection at all in this situation. You really need to give your life to Christ. Time's running out. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to Bible prophecy. We're certainly living in the last days. Are you serious? Are you serious, folks? We have breaking news, breaking news. There has been a mega 7.3 earthquake has just hit Japan. Fukushima, Japan. Are you serious? I mean, you guys know what happened on 3/11/11 when that monster 9.0 hit right there near Fukushima, creating this incredible tsunami. It literally, the earthquake was so hard it shook the ground for 6 minutes and brought a tsunami inland 6 miles, leaving 6 nuclear reactors in meltdown mode. Now, here we are again, 7.3 right there. Matter of fact, the quake just struck about 30 minutes ago. According to meteorologists, the depth of it only 7 miles, 11 kilometers. That's very shallow, very powerful. There's no doubt we have damage. There's no question it's going to affect the Fukushima nuclear power plant. There's no question. You can't have a 7.3, 7 miles deep, and not have a situation here. And matter of fact, there is tsunami warnings. They're saying possibly 10 foot high. They're telling people to get ready. Now, this thing is going to be, this is a dangerous situation. What does it mean for Fukushima? It's way too early. It's a very fluid situation, way too early. Now, some of the U.S. Geological Survey now, initially, okay, now they're saying not 7.3, but they're downgrading it now to 6.9. That's typical for U.S. Geological Survey. Keep downgrading. They've been doing it forever that way. It won't change the fact this thing's shaking, quaking, and the devil's back is breaking as we're in the end-time apocalyptic days of chaos. I mean, I just had lunch with L.A. Marzulli, and we were talking earlier today, and we just did a television, 2 television shows with him today, and Days of Chaos. Days of Chaos. Matter of fact, he's going to be my guest again tomorrow on my live broadcast. We're going to start an hour early because I got to get him to the airport. But at 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, L.A. Marzulli will be co-hosting with me. It'll be a powerful broadcast. Don't miss it. Are you serious? Earthquakes. Are you serious? Pray for the people of Japan. The ring of fire is still on fire. Are you serious? Are you serious? There's a whole lot of shaking going on. And I'm serious, folks. The earth is a shaking and quaking. The devil's back is breaking. My mind is aching. I mean, seriously, the apocalyptic, catastrophic if we're not careful, cataclysmic events could be coming upon the earth as the 5 waves of energy is putting pressure. But it's not just the 5 waves of energy. We also have high solar winds. Matter of fact, I'll just tell you what that is right now. The solar winds are right now roaring at 498,000 kilometers per second, roaring right off the sun, headed toward the earth with a gaping hole in the sun's atmosphere. It's not slowing it down at all. Earth facing 498,000 kilometers per second. And here's what the results of all of this pressure has become. 42 earthquakes in the last 24 hours, including last night's 7.2 powerful quake off the coast of Fiji. Now, the U.S. Geological Survey has downsized it to 6.9. But listen to the last 24 hours. What has taken place on the earth? 2.8 British Virgin Islands. Let me just give you the big ones. 4.7 Fiji. 4.5 Futuna. 4.2 Chile. 5.1 Burma, 4.9 Fiji, 5.5 Chile, and then we had the big one, 6.9, now that's been downsized, Fiji, and that one was big, 5.7 Aftershock Fiji, 4.2 Bulgaria, and then there was a 4.9, 5.8, very shallow, 5.1, all in Fiji, 5.6,
5.0, 5.0, 5.4, all in Fiji, as those aftershocks of this powerful quake. We had a 4.6 hit China, and then we had a 5.7 in Vanuatu. We also had a 4.2 earthquake in Afghanistan, 5.0 Fiji, 4.8 Indonesia, 5.2, 5.0, 5.5 in Fiji, and they're all very shallow. So, man, I'm telling you, folks, we dodged a bullet on the tsunami. We dodged a huge bullet. As shallow as this quake was at 6.9, 7.2, it is a miracle we did not have a massive tsunami. 4.9 Indonesia. We've had a 4.9 and a 4.8 in China. Excuse me, 4.9 was Chile, 4.8 was China, and 4.3 Alaska, and a 4.6 just hit Burma again. So 42 earthquakes in the last 24 hours, including that big one that hit Fiji and all those powerful aftershocks. The whole earth is shaking and quaking. Matter of fact, the Bible told us in the book of Isaiah chapter 24, verse 20, the earth shall reel to and fro, shall rock to and fro like a drunkard, okay? And so we're watching and witnessing these signs of the end times. Jesus said there'd be earthquakes in diverse places. And we know prophetically there would be many earthquakes have already happened on major biblical milestone historical events, but there's others to be prophesied yet to come that we're keeping a close eye on. We're truly living, folks, in the last days. Don't miss today's live broadcast. My guest today will be Dave Hodges from the Dave Hodges Show. So it should be a very powerful broadcast. We're going to talk about Obamacare, the battle on the Hill, the Trump mandate that seems to be already in play, and a whole lot more, okay? So we're going to really take a look at some of America's political issues and some of the struggles that's already taken place on Capitol Hill with the Trump mandate coming into play. All right, we'll tell you all about all those things and the earthquakes and everything else that's happening around the globe on the coming apocalypse. Don't miss it. 12 noon Eastern at my website at www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. So get a fresh cup of coffee and let's get ready to rumble, because that's what's going to happen today. We're really going to dig deep, all right? Are you serious? Are you saved?
News, urgent news at the Crusader Journal by way of, I guess, reports coming out of Russia today. There are some dangerous situations. Earthquakes! Mega quake is being predicted now. The deadliest yet for San Francisco area, according to Quake. Faults have been found that have connected. Massive destruction, it looms. I don't want to be dramatic. I just want to be urgent here on what the scientists are telling us, seismologists. Matter of fact, warnings from beneath the California are getting grimmer with each passing geological study. A previously unseen fault line has been spotted, doubling the length of the existing faults and threatening an even more colossal earthquake. What? The big one, they say, an earthquake, let's say magnitude 7.0 or higher, is generally expected anyway in the United States along the San Andreas fault line. They really believe that's going to happen very soon. But many geologists agree that the fault has reached such a level of stress that the new massive quake is a matter of when, not if. And in June, there was a large-scale motion was detected along the fault line, creating further panic in cities such as Los Angeles and San Francisco, California. But the new phantom danger lies in the Oakland, San Francisco Bay Area, along these two merged faults running parallel to San Andreas. Matter of fact, and I remember the earthquake back in, I believe it was 1980s, during the World Series.